Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new and improved Be Like Raiden Lightning Sorcerer build. As always, we will look at gameplay, skills, passives, gear, and of course break down that character sheet. Now in the description is the advanced loot filter and the advanced build planner. Also, everything is time-stamped in the description if you need to bounce around and look around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Now for this build, kind of like our Shatterstrike build, I'm gonna go a little out of order and actually start with the character breakdown sheet because this will help you understand the gameplay. Now right now my character is level 93. We have 76 points into intelligence, 7 points into vitality, movement speed 33. Fire damage is maxed, lightning's okay, cold's maxed, physical's practically maxed, poison's okay, necrotic's maxed, and void is practically maxed. So we just need a little bit of tweaking and the resistances will be there. Armor nada, dodge nada, ward retention. This is a ward build to stay alive. But what I really want to showcase is the damage numbers here. Now, when you look at this, spell critical strike chance is a solid 35%, and critical strike multiplier is 327. And then over here, increase lightning damage. But this is why I want to showcase this, okay? It's really going to help you understand the gameplay. Watch what happens when I hit Arcane Ascendance and use Lightning Blast on the training dummy. Now, don't worry about the damage numbers on the training dummy. Take a look in here, okay? Ready? Go. We're now up to over 900% lightning, and our critical strike chance is over 100%. On top of that, our cast speed at one point was at 99%. Okay? The reason why that is because Lightning Blast, if the closer you are to an enemy, can hit that enemy and then actually hit you through the chain, boosting your crit chance and your damage. So in this, you can hit enemies at a distance, of course, to stay safe. But if you are up close and personal, you will really turn into almost a shotgun lightning Raiden caster. You will see that through the gameplay now. Skills we're going to be using are Elemental Nova, Teleport. We will be using Flame Ward, but since it's on auto cast through its skill tree, we are going to put Focus in its place for mana regen, Arcane Ascendance, and Lightning Blast. Here we go. Now what's great about this build is when you teleport, you will make Novas. So you can cast Novas by themselves, or you can use it through Teleport. And then through Arcane Ascendance, you will basically turn into Archon mode. Now here, I'll show you right now. When you hit Arcane Ascendance, you cannot move, but when you shoot, you are so much stronger. So you see right here, I cannot move, and my mana will go down anytime I'm in that. So you really need to be good at positioning yourself and going in and out of Arcane Ascendance when you need to move. But what is nice about it is if you're in Arcane Ascendance and you can't move, you can teleport with it. So if your teleport is off cooldown, you do have some movement capability. Now, what I'm running right now is empowered, okay? And as you can see, for the most part, we are tearing through this. Got it? What do we got? Oh. The closer you are to the target, the more damage you will do. Oh, lightning resistant spiders. Get out of here. Okay, let's do one more. And we're off. Good old lightning resistant spiders. That's fine. We could still get through them. Now, I streamed this build for maybe, I don't know, almost 5 hours last night. We had some good success. I will say that it is a little bit of a glass cannon, so you do need to spec it and gear more into survivability than damage. And at times we were even testing a shield on it, which seemed to work really well. So if you're struggling at all with survivability, I recommend throwing a Bastion on. As long as you can still maintain damage, you should be totally fine. And obviously what we're doing right now is all empowered. Last night on stream, we killed an empowered Shade of Oribus. So you can clear endgame content. Oh my gosh, these runs are so easy. Let me show you how to recreate this build. Starting off with skills, and we're just gonna go right down the line with Elemental Nova. Give you 1 second to screenshot it. Moving on, you want 1 point into Lightning Nova. Obviously, this is a lightning build. 5 points into Spark Charges, 5 points into Overcharge, 3 points into Current. This is gonna give you some shock effect. This is really for clearing trash. So anytime you teleport or use your Nova, you're pretty much gonna overcharge every other time. It's going to use a larger area, and it will shock and kill the enemy, so you don't have to worry about running backwards. You want to go 3 points into ward. Almost every skill we use is going to generate some form of ward, which is going to help keep you alive. So you want 3 into Victor. Then you want to come up and put 3 into Elemental Expanse, just so that you have a larger area. That is literally it for Elemental Nova. Moving over to Flame Ward, give you 1 second to screenshot it. And moving on. All of my mage builds use this skill. All of my mage builds use this skill in this configuration. It is an amazing quality of life, keep you alive. You don't have to use the numlock trick for this because 11th Hour Games actually has a node in here that will auto cast it for you when you need it. You want 3 points into Dilation, 5 points into Stalwart Defense, 5 points into Barrier, 3 points into Desperate Defense, 2 points into Fuel the Flames, 1 point into Dual Aegis, and 1 point into Astonish. Astonish makes it where when you get stunned, it auto triggers. And again, you can have 2 of them. So you get stunned, it triggers. You're in a hard fight, it triggers again. And then if you're fine, you'll get those 2 charges back, and it will keep using over and over again. That's why you do not need to leave it on your actual action bar. All right. Moving over to Teleport. 1 second to screenshot it. Moving on, you want 5 into Barrier, 3 into Out of Body, 5 into Stable Bubble, 1 into Out of Mind, 5 into Elemental Affinity, 1 into Elemental Dawn, 1 into Elemental Dusk, and 1 into Elemental Midnight. This makes it for when you use Teleport, you use 3 Elemental Novas.
Take care.
That was a bad example because we didn't go far enough. 1 where you started, 1 in the middle, and 1 where you land, and it does use your skill tree. Okay. Now, right now I have 22 points into Teleport. If I only had 20, I would take 1 out of Barrier and 1 out of Affinity. Okay. Moving over to Arcane Ascendance. This is really the build, or the skill that makes this build possible. If you ever played D3, this is your Archon mode. All right. So in here, the way you want to take it is 5 into Higher Plane, spell damage, 1 into Superconductor, 3 into Close Circuit, 5 into Power Overload, 1 into Unstable Energy, 2 into Haste. This gives you movement speed when you come out, and then 3 into Rebuff. If you have 2 extra points or more skills, put it into Rebuff. This again gives you ward when you are using it. Okay. Last but not least, your main damage dealer, Lightning Blast. Give you 1 second to screenshot it. And I played with this skill a lot, and I found in its current configuration, it works the best as far as a damage output perspective. You want 4 into Arcing Power. This is your maximum chains. 1 into Surging Influence. This is the chain range. This is Closed Circuit, which allows the blast to chain back to you, which boosts your damage and your crit chance. All right. And again, you don't have to be as close because you're going to have a longer range. 5 into Front Loaded, 4 into Overcharge, 1 into Hypercharge, 3 into Cloud Answer, and 1 into Final Spark. This is a skill that does lightning damage that scales with Lightning Spell and Intelligence, which is exactly what you are using, and it detonates if you hit the same target twice. So again, it is added damage because you are going to be doing so many Lightning Blasts. Those are the skills. Moving over to passives, and right now my character's level 93. Now previously the way I would use this is 8 into Arcanist, 5 into Mage Flurry, and 10 into Knowledge of Destruction. And we'd pretty much stop right there. But for this new build, trying to really focus on survivability and really go into ward, I've actually taken an additional, 21 points into the base class. We now have Reactive Ward, Ward Retention, Silver Rune, and Sun and Storms. Now let me explain this. Okay, so again, survivability. This is going to give you 200 ward. This is going to give you 30% ward retention. This is going to give you a 60% boost to ward gained. So really you're going to be getting 320 ward and it's going to kick down the cooldown from 12 to 6 seconds. So if you take a hit which drops you below 70% health, which is literally all the time, it's going to trigger that huge burst of ward. It is also going to give you a boost to lightning damage and additional ward through sun and storms. And on top of that, it's going to give you a little bit of ward retention. This is going to be triggering all the time. And so will your flame ward, which is going to give you a big boost of ward, which gives you the ability to stay alive. Nothing in Spellblade. We don't have Rune Master yet. And moving over to Sorcerer. You want 8 into Brainstorm, 5 into Arcane Momentum, 10 into Wisdom, 3 into Sira, 5 into Rift Bolt, 1 into Crackling Precision. We don't really care about crit chance on the passive tree, but we do care about spell crit multiplier, 5 into Obliteration. Right now, 6 into Arcane Insight. This is what I am leveling right now. So if you did have a level 100 character, you would go into Arcane Insight. 5 into Spell Slinger, 5 into Archmage, and 4 into Recollection. Those are the passives. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. Now, the idols that you want to look for are increased lightning damage, doubled if you have 300 mana, increased lightning damage, doubled if you have over 300 mana. And this is really like kind of the quintessential what you are looking for. 39% increased critical strike chance with lightning skills and increased lightning damage if you have over 300 mana, okay? Also, you can get a bigger one. This is the Ornate Idol that also gives you the increased boost to lightning damage and a chance to gain ward 1 hit. And then another increased lightning damage, increased critical strike chance with lightning skills. So really good idols scale with this build. And then in here, I just threw in a little bit of spell lightning damage. So those are the main idols you want to look for. Not insanely difficult to find something that gives you increased lightning damage. But as you notice on that idol, you have to have 300 mana. For this build, I'm going to put it out there. It is required you have 300 mana if you want to really do empowered content. You can see right now, I am sitting at 315. Moving over to gear. There is no gear required for this build. You don't need to go hunt a certain unique. You don't need to go get a different set. You can just use rare, exalted, crafted merch. Gear. So let's go through each of them one by one. Helmet. Amulet. Catalyst. Look at that crit multiplier. Armor. Now, armor and helmet had 2 very interesting affixes. You can get lightning critical strike multiplier, which is huge, and increased spell crit, again, doubled if you have over 300 mana. So unfortunately, I don't have it for here. I have the 2 points into teleports, but I really needed the health on this. But you can get that on your helmet and your armor. Great affixes. Lightning damage and crit multiplier. Intelligence lightning. Mana regen lightning. Lightning critical strike chance. Spell and intelligence. Intelligence movement, crit avoidance, and intelligence cast speed. That is the gear. Moving over to the training dummy. Now, we already looked at the character breakdown at the beginning of this video, but I did want to show you some damage numbers. So if you put that all together, what kind of damage do you see? Watch this. These are all crits. Some in the 40s, 30s. And literally hitting unbelievably fast. Okay, now while our mana regens, I do want to talk about gear just for another second. If you go into the advanced build planner, and you can get even close to the gear that I selected, and again, none of it is unique, none of it is set. Decent exalted drops, good crafted gear. You can get your life easily at 2,000. You can easily max resistances, you can get endurance, and you can push damage so far. Since you're using Arcane Ascendance, which is going to give you that basically guaranteed crit chance, you really need to stack crit multiplier. And I really feel like those hits right there can easily get to 100,000 each. Let's do it one more time. Just look at how fast it's hitting. It's pretty crazy. That is the training dummy. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. Raiden is done for 084. What does everybody think? What did I miss to push this to the next level? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you've heard by now that I've officially started a Twitch. I stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, having so much fun with the ARPG community. We played this build for over 4.5 hours yesterday to get it ready for this build guide. I love making builds with the community. It is always a good time. First link in the description if you'd like to go and support me on Twitch. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,300 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. And last but not least, right now I have 22 build guides that are viable for 084. All of them linked in the description, all with advanced loot filters and build planners. So if you don't like Raiden, maybe there's something else down there for you. All right, that's all I got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.